Oop. Okay, hello. Welcome to Digital Hazard. Yep. I added that in my playlist about 2 weeks ago, I think. Song came in my playlist, and it was just, I got hooked on it since. But yeah, let us get things going. And sorry for the late start. It just, shiz happened, and then I had to drive the thing to update. So, whoops a poops. But yeah, let us. Scene change. Bam! Hey, there we go. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Where's my VTuber model? Oh god, I didn't. Uh-oh. Wait a sec. I need to. What? Hello, there we go. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Ugh. Welcome to a lovely night of no plan, but just minis. We're painting minis, we're finishing up minis, and pretty much just trying to finish up my massive. Not even back. Well, I have a backlog, but I have a backlog of half done or almost done minis that, you know, with no plan, I'm just going to finish things up with what I have right now. Also, work on some things for my coming game. Why do I have this here? As you can see here, I've got all these Age of Sigmar Blood Reavers who need spots of red added to them. Mostly the back of the shoulders and then a little bit of the chainmail and stuff to add the chainmail color and paint the weapons. They need that done. This tech priest has been in work in progress for far longer than I wanted to be, so I want to finish up all of his trim details. I've got part of his head done and finish up like all the gun trims and stuff. Mr. Slaughter Priest here. I just need to add the black rim around the base really, then he's kinda pretty much done. Beyond maybe a little bit of extra weathering or he's got some slightly shiny pecs, but I think I might give a little thin bit of semi-gloss just to give him them sweaty pecs. Yeah. I don't know why the Judiciar is here. Maybe I just moved there because I was changing models. And then you just need some weathering as well as the base needs painting. So those are things I want to do. And then also for coming game, I have some Assault Terminators I want to finish up. They're almost finished, but I want to give them fancy urban bases. Or like Space Hulk type bases. So let me just get them out here. Well, there you go. 1, 2, 3. They need their details painted, at least around the feet. I can paint the upper bodies later. There we go. These 5. And then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4, 5. 5 bases. I want to give them a slight Space Hulk looking base instead of these like terrain mush things. And for that, I'm going to use my good old strategy of plastic card. Ooh, whoa. Whoa, what the heck? Am I on auto exposure? I thought I said to fit one. Let me set the camera to fixed exposure again. Whoa, stop. VTube Studio. I closed VTube Studio by mistake. Whoopsie. Turn it back on again. And here we go. Some of this. Give me some of this good stuff here. There's some zip ties to act as like venting stuff to go on the floors. I did this strategy with my 3 of my aggressors. I really liked it, and I want to do it again. So here's some of the plastic sheeting I had. First off, let me just minimize VTube Studio so it doesn't go zooming in and out when I scroll my wheel. And then, camera, configure, give me a fixed white balance and a fixed exposure. There. Good. Okay, we got fixed exposure value now. It's not going to do the weird thingies. So yeah, I think order of operations. Let's go what will take longer first, which is making the little custom bases for these 5 Terminators, and then doing their lower details first, so I can just stick them on and easily paint the upper details later. Because I tend to bring these lads on my game on Thursday. I think, yeah, the most completed guy here is a Sergeant right now. And I think, how's your head looking? I think I need to straighten the lines on the head ever so slightly, but otherwise, he just needs a few extra small details at the top, and he's good, so I can just stick him down. He's also a tactical rock. And, yeah. So why did I paint this silver when this actually is meant to be a stone grey color? I can fix that later anyway. So there's a little bit of dust. I haven't used these in about 2 weeks. So they may collect a bit of dust and my dandruff on them. But yeah, I can just go through the sort of quick steps to make myself some base toppers for this from scratch. And I like to use this slightly thicker because I think it's slightly thicker because, yeah, it's the same thickness as these vents also. Let me drop the exposure down a bit, especially with these very white pieces I'm working on. Drop the exposure down by 1 slot. There we go. So everything's a bit darker, but then, here we go. You can more easily see this. Very nice shade of red, thank you kindly. That is the 2 thin coats Emperor Red. There. Here we go. This one. 2 thin coats Emperor Red over a base red coat. And that's pretty nice. I quite like it. This is the shade after a noun oil, so it goes slightly darker. And I think this... No. This is the same shade, but under Agrax Earth shade, or the brown wash instead. So the brown wash keeps it a bit redder compared to the noun oil. So yeah. Also yeah, this is my this is my legally distinct not Manius Calgar. Yeah. Exactly. So let me just put that there. Also yeah, this exposure is not good for the minis, but is good for the working on the plastic here. So I'll need to remind myself to pop the exposure up again once I finish working on these bases. So first off, what we need to do is make the base, which is a bunch of circles in this. Can I reuse a bunch of this somewhat? Not really. I need to keep the flat circles. So let me place it down and just very slightly score this. Famous last words for, where's my knife? Here it is. Just a score the curve. I'm just gonna use a nipper to cut these out. 1. And I'll just use this one I should cut out as a guide for the rest. Trying to make absolute maximum use by going as close to the corners as I can. Yep. How did I cut this before? I had a circle cutter before, then I bloody lost it. I think there's just very carefully try to score it out. I could just cut in squares and trim the excess off. Why am I being stupid like that? I can just cut as close as I can, and then trim it, and then use the trimmings as extra basing material for other bits. There we go. 1, 2. There we go. I just expand those little nips. I'm going to expand the nips. At that point, yeah, my table is very full. And this is where my metal... Oh my god, I have my metal ruler on hand. There we go. Metal ruler. I can just score. And then we score along this way. There we go. And we can just do the There we go. The easy snappy snap. Just compare again. So I can like that. So basically what I can do is I can cut these out, these little squares out. Then I can stick it down like this, trim around the perimeter to finish it up, then save the trimmings to use as little rubble and like triangular rubble bits and bobs on other bases. So no wastage. Everything. What the heck is this on this side here? Did I stick something to this? Basically, there's gonna be no wastage of the bits. There's gonna be a use for all the offcuts and everything. Just try to sand off that weird gunk there. Don't know what that is. Also, sanding it will just help rough the surface up so I can paint it more easily. Let's see. Hello, Manaf. Whole damn army. Yeah, indeed. I have a whole Space Marine army, and I've got a little bits and bobs of Corn Berserkers and more Marines. Lots of Marines and some Age of Sigmar Corn Berserkers here. And sorry if it's a bit dark. Again, my exposure's down a bit because I'm working with white plastic just to get these bases ready. So now that I know the sizing, I can just use this as a general guide mark. For the remainder. That's 1, 2. Yeah, I'm trying out. I'm going to be painting those guys some more, but I want to build the like Space Hulk style bases for these guys, and I don't have a 3D printer, and so I am old schooling it. Feels weird. By scratch building the Space Hulk bases with plastic card and zip ties, and maybe any other op cuts I may happen to have around, while also generating more offcuts to use for other projects. Go. So, a bit more time consuming, but a bit more personal, and we just get to have fun with seeing what works and what doesn't work. But I do know 3/4 of what I'm going to be doing today does work because I've done it before on my aggressors, my Deathwatch aggressors. And I do need to debase my Balsam aggressors and do the same to them as well. Do you special paint? Mostly acrylics. A lot of Vallejo, a lot of too thin coats, and some Citadel, just because I happen to have Citadel paints. Also, some of them are just really good. Like, again, Retributor Armor Gold is just one of the best gold paints I've ever used. Despite the horrible, expensive price of it, I say it's worth it. Wow, I was off center from that completely. What the? A whole centimeter off the center point from that one. What the heck? Hold on, let me rescore this. Yeah, that's more like it. Snappier, please. There we go. There. Hey, stuff with the quicks looks chunky. Have a doll face, mate. You really got thin. Well, 1, a good prime, and then 2, thin layers. That's my best advice. Hello, Remnant Chaos. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? So let's see. What did it like? Yeah, pretty much. This was a bunch of layers. The skin was a white layer, then a dark skin tone layer, then a light skin tone layer, then a wash, and a little bit of the light skin tone layer again to get the ripped body look on it. But yeah, pretty much everything except the metallics is 2 coats of paint at least. Just because metallics cover very well. And yeah, that's my advice for the acrylics. And this is my best skin tone painting I've done so far, I think. Also, thank you, I didn't have to paint his face. I'm still horrible at painting faces. Not so microscopic. Where is my brush? I mainly use two brushes. Let me get them out. Meh, 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 meh. And meh, 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 meh. This is it, right? Yeah. I use these two. This is a size 0. Let me just, yeah. It's a size 0, but can get a nice fine point when it's wet. And then this is a size 000, which is the very fine brush I have. Again, when it's wet, it has a nice fine point. There. Pretty much 90% of the stuff I do is with these two size brushes. And I just happen to have many, many brushes. Just in case. Think, what's this one? Think. This is a size... That's a size 000, but slightly shorter bristles. I just happen to have it. So, yeah. It just takes time and practice. And, again, getting to know how the texture of the paint works. There we go. But, yeah, just, fool around with it. Just YOLO it. Anyway, so now that I've got that, let me get 2 more for 5 bases. It looks like, can I get away with 2 more from this here? Yes, I can. So I just gotta trim that, and I can probably get away with 3 more if I am, if I budget it well. So, yeah. This is what I get for having no table space. I can't fit the plastic where I need to put it. Yeah. Just score the line. Yeah, it takes practice. Practice makes perfect. Yeah, there we go. Oh, hey, I've got a nice square sheet left over for more cuttings later. But for now, let's see. I think, so something like this. I can trim from here. Do the slice with score. I guess I can just score from this point here. Yep. Snap. Snap. So again, save this for offcuts and stuff later for other rubble and so on. And this, meh. About 50-50 down. Slice. There. Okay. Got 5 squares. Just now try to get these positioned right on this. So just use a little bit of blue tack to help hold it. Place. And then let's get, where's my sharp nippers? Yeah, let's try with these. Just going to try to trim close to the edge as possible. Carefully. So, I can sand down the edges later, but that's for later. Right now, I just need to get the general shape going. And all this won't go to waste. It can be used for future basing projects as the random rubbles. I need to find where the heck I put that circle cutter of mine. At least it would speed up this process. Okay. So we got this. That generally fills the entire base. Let's go around the edges. Okay, final sanding, I'll wait until it's fully stuck down, so then we have all these offcuts for later. Then do the same for the next. Scrolling side down so we don't see it. Snap. Because I'm going to add some vents and other little details to these as we go. Because I think that, I'm not sure how much mini paint I'm going to get to if I'm spending the entire time with these bases, but hey, that's part of the process. Go. Okay. 2. Shove the offcuts to the side. Number 3. Where did blue tag go? Up this place. Stick. Huh. As we go, I am brainstorming like what differences I want to put the different pieces to be like and stuff. Yep. Fair enough. And I'm not doing the final sanding around its edges yet because I want to finish up all the base details first and then sand it, so all of it's a, I guess, cohesive circular sand around it with all the detail bits. And okay, so this one doesn't quite fill the base, but that is fine. I can work with that. There's a way to make this work still. And that way we'll also grant an opportunity to try some things. Try new things. Yep. Yeah, go on. Just trim away. Okay, that's good. And then, last one. Trim. Snap. Yeah, basically, since it's gonna be like Space Hulk or spacecraft looking hulls and things, it's gonna be like cargo floors, cargo bays, waste areas and stuff. And so putting like scoring panel lines into this, like grid lines, adding little walkway vents and stuff. And of course, maybe some like ruined bits in here and there, since they're terminating in. They're terminating in. They're here to cause havoc, and so they're going to have a bunch of wreck stuff around them as well. Okay, there we go. So, we got 5 little base hoppers, 5 bases. Let's start with this one first. What I want to do is, come back here. Add a little drainage, or little vent system on the side of the base. So what I'm going to do is just going to put this here. And then score it. One side. And then score it the other side. I cannot. 1 second. What the heck? I can't see my scoring. Wait, should take it off the base first. Yeah, whatever. Make the first score line deeper so I can see the damn thing. Down the side here. Like so. Add the second score line. Here. Start the score line. And then... Come on. 1 second. Bad angles with the lighting and stuff. Start the score line. Okay. Scored a bit more. Line. Okay. One. 2. 3. Okay. So now, she has 2 snap lines here. First one. And second one. Or I should snap the other way, because now I can't snap this. There we go. Like that. Will you rest of it snap off? No. That's fine. I get some nice even rectangle snip cuts now. Go sand that a bit flat. Same for this side, sand it flat. Okay, now this is where you get the cement going. One of these bases here. Let's check the zip tie piece. So about this much. So we can snip off this end part. We can save this for later as well. Perfect. So now, let us adjust my butt on my seat first. Okay, let's get a spot of super glue. Just drizzle a bit there. Stick this base topper piece first. Then a little bit more. And then the zip tie. Go along here. Stay. Stay down. Add a little bit more here. Okay. Seal that, and then the other bit which I snipped off. Here. There we go. Now we're going to have like a spaceship flooring that has a little side venting here. So we just push it down a bit, let the cement or the glue dry a bit. Then we can touch it up, trim it down. And then, where was my engraving tool at? I had a whole bunch of engraving tools. I am now not seeing them because, of course, I cleaned up and put things away. I suppose I don't quite need the exact engraving tools. I just need something with a V cut. Oh, what the heck? I found my circle cutter! Well, after I cut the 4 circles and bits out, I now found the circle cutter! Okay, that'll get me for next time then. Put it there. Oh, where the heck? Where the hecky are my engraving toolies? They were right here before. If not, I can work with alternative tools instead. Yeah, I'll work with alternative tools. That's fine. So with this one base, I want to add like a floor paneling here. So let us do it somewhere here. Just perpendicular to this little vent piece, like a runaway sort of thing. There we go. So I've scored that a few times at the top of the blade. Now I'm going to try with the wider back of the blade to widen it out a bit. Go. That. How's that looking? I'm a bit wider, so I think. I was going to say something sharp like just the edge of my little tweezers here, just to widen up the top. Well, to widen this scoring into like a drainage channel. Not sure how easily this can be seen on the stream, but that's I can comfortably get my nail into this little track here now. So first off, let me just flatten out the little raised bumping from the ice work there. And also let's do a little wipe down with some plastic cement to smoothen it. There we go. And just to give extra effect, I have the drain line here. I'm going to have another drain line just over here offset. So it's like they've got staggered little drain lines on this. What's the drain lines for? Don't know. It's just a little bit of visual interest to the platform this terminal will be standing on. There we go. Let's widen this side a bit. Tweezers to bit more. Sand it down. And then one more swipe with the cement. There. And then, where was that? This little offcut from the end of the twist tile, the cable tile I was using. Just smoothing down the cut point here. That could actually be like just a little, just box. It's just something of visual interest just to be around here. Well, actually, maybe let me just see. Ah, okay. So I need to take into account that the sergeant is on a tactical rock. So he is going to be on a more rubbly platform. So this will not be at a sergeant's base. Let's grab you. Let's see. Actually, I think that's probably good as is. We have the vent detail. You can see a little bit of the track here. There's going to be some track behind his foot where he's stepping on as he's walking past. Yeah, I think. And it's sort of. Yeah, I think that'll be fine as is. So I think, yeah, this base is fine. So then. Now we can then just do the little trim arounds to make it nice and even across the board. And just this sandy sand around the circle. Again, the parts where it doesn't really cover, I can like just paint in and fill in with a little bit of gunk here and there, just again for extra stuff. Get that radius around here. So, chamfer it ever so slightly around the top. There we go. And then a spot of cement around these edges to blend it in. So, okay. So that's one base pretty much done. This is any other details I want to add to this? Not really. Again, in that case, I don't want the base to be too detailed because I feel like it might draw away from the model. Like I want a base to be more like it's a pedestal to display the model, but at least it's going to have a little bit of a theme. Like he's going to be like on a metal cargo bay with like a drain fence or something around him. So it's thematic to what the area he's in, but it's not too overboard. So now let's try this one. Let's see. So this is the one where it is too short. So I think what I might do is intentionally cut this short one down a bit. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I have an idea. I have an idea. that. I think this one. Oh, this might. Okay, okay, I am inspired. Yes, okay, I'm inspired a bit. Let me just add a bit more jaggedness to this. And then I'm going to intentionally file these down at an angle. I have plans for this. Filing this down. Try to get maybe there's like sort of a slight ramp or like broken or bent away area here. And then just random scratch marks down this way. Yep. Add some more little nicks and cutouts here. Like so. Oh, put the plastic dust off him. Look like this. Then let's see, this needs a bit more trim. So, what else I would add to this? It's gonna melt it like this. Trim around there. So do I have other? Yes, I do. Yes, yes. Give. I have these strips of half rounds. That's exactly what I want. Give me a half round. Come on. Just casually using my teeth to rip this open. Do not use the teeth to rip these open like I am. Yeah. Come on, give me this polystyrene half round. I have uses for you. Yes. Here we go. So this is gonna have to come out here. Right, okay. I'm going to trim this spike out a bit, like so. Then using this, Okay, on that side. Let's again mark on this side. Push that nice and flat. Hold it steady. Mark on this side. Right. Let us now trim this. Slide cut. One. Then, again, sizing wise, put this here. A little bit less, like so. Okay. Use the entire length of the blade just to get a nice flat line first. And then carefully step along it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stand that flat a bit. Okay, so now we're going to have a partial bit here. We're going to have a half pipe acting as a pipe going through that then gets broken here. And then the other side of it here. And if this is right, that is about the same width as the twist tie, so we can have some fun little detailing bits and bobs here. Yeah. Okay, let's go with that. So come back here. Let's do it. So bit of super glue. Stick this piece down, covering everything it needs to cover. Have this pipe bit. I'm going to trim it here. Pipe to be partially exposed only. What is this? IBB Cool. What is this? Let me see. Oh, snap. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You literally painted the face. Dang. Nice. Looking forward to see how that goes. Okay, so then... There. Random hair stuck to my super glue. A little track of it here. I'm gonna have like so. I think also before that dries, I'm going to just trim this pipe out a bit. Yeah. And then more. Close it up. And put the other side of this on. Like so. Now let's add a little bit around here, like a little bit of gunk. Yeah. Okay. Yo, Goldman, welcome. Hello. Yes, indeed, it is 10:16 p.m. for me. Welcome to the time zones. How goes, man? See, I'm doing some custom basings for these lovely Terminators. The exposure is kind of bad just because it's overexposing against all the white plastic. Okay, we got one base with a little drainage track and 2 panel lines. It's just going to be for these guys to be stomping along. Again, it doesn't need to be too complicated. It just needs to sell the images inside a spaceship, like cargo loading bay or docking bay or something. So this is like a cargo bay or loading bay with a little drainage and stuff. This one is going to be sort of like a lower decks sort of area, and it's a part where a pipe's broken open, maybe acid is melting away at this part of the floor, and then this guy is just going to be standing ominously over it, like so. It's like, aha! I care not for the spitting acid and whatnot here. I'm coming to fucking claw you to death. And also I can use a lot of these offcuts around here just as for more basing material and stuff. Or like bits floating in this acid pool. I can stick it on later. So yeah, just doing fun things. General TPRG. This is for Warhammer 40k. These are my Terminators for my Space Marines. Kind of like Space Hulk, pretty much. I'm Space Hulking it, sort of. Without the Gene Stealers and stuff, just sort of a general spaceship vibe on their bases. Since, that's what Terminators are normally used for. The close quarters of Space Hulks. Where they need the maximum protection possible in tight corridors. And then that's just the general plan. The general vibe. Again, as I don't normally like to do overcomplicated bases because I feel it draws away from the model. I do want to have at least slightly thematic versus just dumping material, basing material down and calling it that, because not everyone's always going to be on a desert planet or on a muddy planet and so on. As I said, especially for like Age of Sigmar with like this guy, it's like, it's fantasy. They're going to be on the muddy ground. He's standing on a tactical skull. Like, he's got enough detail to be on just a muddy piece of ground here. So, yeah. But now when they're coming in the sci-fi parts, I was like, let's go a bit fancier with it. Let's just finish making this nice. And, of course, adding a bit of a chamfer to the top. All the way around. Nice. And then, suppose one sort of scored line for a panel, like floor panel is in order. I'll just add it here at the back, since there's plenty of detail on this side already. Yeah. Also, I'm having this grand idea. Have these ready for a game I'm playing on Thursday. I could actually realistically get that far if I only do that tonight and tomorrow. But I did want to try to paint some other models tonight at the same time. There we go. Just score in that little floor paneling. Widen it out a bit. And then re-smoothen the surface. But yeah, most of my models are just for like Warhammer armies and stuff. Not yet had a TTRPG happen yet requiring a specific model, although it'll be really fun when that does happen. Yep. Sparse cement. Smoothing it out a bit. So this is going to be the sergeant's one, where he's standing on rubble and stuff. We're going to stand on rubble there. And maybe you can add some of these little rubble bits as well on top of that. Like so. One. Ah, hydrate, you bastard. Hydrate. Okay, one second. We just quickly stick down these two little random bits of plastic offcuts I had. What do they represent? Don't know. Don't care. It's part of the. It's just part of the damaged and destroyed rubble that's around this guy's feet. So, hydration. There we go. Got some water. Water consumed. There we go. Just a little bit of cement. Since this is all plasticard, slam it down a bit. You know what? Even the offcut from the what you call it? Nah, what's the word for it? Twist tie, which I used for the venting and stuff in the other base. That's just gonna be here. It's fallen into the well, the weird toxic goop that's gonna be put down here. You're not made of plastic. Oh, you. It's not made of the same plastic card, so the cement doesn't melt it. All right. Super glue. Give. Eh. There we go. Let's just add more. I want you kind of smoothing gunk out this area a bit. There. Okay. So we have two bases here. Let's go for number 3, 4, and 5. Ugh. I think, yeah, the focus, all these mods on the table here right now are going to be my focus on tonight, just so I don't fill my table up with any more stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a doozy. A little bit of doozy-woozy. Okay, let's see. What other weird shapes do I have to play with? Triangle. That's tube. That's also tube. This is... Oh yeah, I have... These are half rounds. Where's my flat stuff? Also, I can add details as well just by painting this too. Yeah, have a good look, and thank you for popping in, by the way. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Thinking, how do I want to do this? Yeah, maybe a sort of access conduit section. That sounds good. Yeah, some sort of like access conduits and stuff on this one. So, let's do it on one of the larger pieces. I have more space to work with. This looks a good one. So, let's see. What I'm going to do is do a partial score like this. Partial score. Partial score, again, parallel to it. And then the perpendicular score. This is going to be a bit hard, but so am I. And that's all that matters. Okay, get that. So I can't easily snap that part out, so I'm just going to have to very carefully do the snip with it instead. If we snip some triangles out first, so I have somewhere to work with. So. Snip. Snip. Can I free this? Yes! Perfect! That's exactly what I wanted. Like a little nutchin like that. So now, let us somewhat parallel this out. Perpendicular of this. Parallel this out a bit. Go. That's about right. Yeah, I like that. So let's commit this down onto the base now. Ah. Go down. Good. Right, okay. Now, what I'm going to do is... Where was that? Where was that half round I was using? Here it is. It's on the floor. Get over here. Plan is I'm going to have a few half round pipes coming through this. And a reverse of the zip tie. This smaller flat part that has these little reachy notches on it. Which side has it? This side has it. So let's trim off this tip. Yeah, that's good. That's going to look right. So that going between the two little half rounds I'm about to put here. No, don't stick it. Ooh, I almost super glued that in place. So let's do a little bit of a tiny super glue here. Make sure to pre-cut some more length of it. Stick that down. I think I can make use of, haha! That one-off cut will work first. First, where's the zip tie? There it is. Let us a little bit there. And have this piece go between the two little pipes. And a bit more. And then the other pipe. Yep, give me. Here we go. so. Add some more glue around to ensure. Have it rammed right up to the side for the effect. Yeah. Then, let's see. Can I do a thing? Think so. Can I do this without interrupting the actual base, though? Maybe not. Because I just want a little thing going across, but how about a guy who can stand here? Yeah. So gonna stand like that. Maybe a slight raised area with... Do I? Let's see. I should have. Where is that other plastic bit I have here? I'm rummaging all my bits and pieces now. That's a triangle. Triangle might work. Oh, here it is. This one I'm looking for. Yeah. These are some strips. Just standardized strip sizes. Pull one of these out. There we go. Okay, maybe I want the strips to form over that. Yeah, maybe along the side here. Yeah, okay, so maybe. There we go. Just want this strip to go straight along this side, like a wall edge. So then let's, since this is plastic, I can just do a quick cement run along that side. Cement run along this side. Hold it in place. And then, let's see. Alright. Just a double. Just double row, I think, maybe. Maybe. Sounds about right. Let's do it. Again, not spending too much time thinking, just doing. Yeah, it could be weird. Spaceship can have weird architectures and stuff. Doesn't need to make sense. It just needs to look right. Here, like so. Very good. Then I'll just carefully trim these down to size. So then, while I let this cement dry first, I'll just sand the other side to shape. Here. It's kind of some straight sand around it. Eh. Flatten this top bit. Okay. Then, for more detail, where that line is going, a line, blade, light pressure, then a little bit of scoring. Good. Just going in indent here. A deeper indent. Let's see, then I score the back of the blade now. Yes. Just need to score this a bit more. Just want to make this look like this is a covering that can be detached. So I'm giving a nice deep score here, straight to the end. And since this is a line where some pipes have been revealed, I'm going to add another one right here. Like these are service plates and service panels. Here we go. Smooth that down a bit. And then just a few nicks and stuff over that area. That sand again. Okay. So there's like access panels to some floor panels here, and then it's got a little bit of a raised lip at the side for just whatever the thing is. I don't know how long to wait for seeing the cure if I put paint on. Yep. Usually I wait a full 12 hours before I go anything on top of top coat, just to be absolutely sure. Unless it's lacquer, then lacquer I can like hair dry a bit faster, but still. Okay, let me just smoothing that out a bit. You know what, I'll just, since this isn't all the way in there, I'll just give it a little trim, like it's a one-away area. Yeah. Edge of the base here needs file down to match with the base contour. And pin vise a bit just to drill in a little hole into these half-round pipes. Just for the last bit of the effect. Come on, give me drill. Bit of sand, last bit of cement to clean it up and everything. A bit here as well. Okay. So I got this little sort of maintenance base looking thing. 2 more to go. Let's see. 2 more to go. What can I do with my big strips here? Let's see. This. I have a little. Just a little raised lump just down the center might work. Maybe. Yeah, why not? Let's go. Not everything seems complicated. Let's go simpler with this one. Just now some wrap. Stick that down. Let's see. Let's find a guy like that. Something. Something like that with some spacings in it seems good. Let's go with this. Snip. And a snip. So, okay. Gonna use this terminator here just to handle shaping of it. Spot cement there. So now that's going to hold in place. No, it's not. Nice. Terminator stands here. Right before a raised piece. Big blob of cement there. Go, go. Have a good day, Goldman. Thanks for coming by. Welcome, welcome, and hope you have a good time. Now, have this little waist bump. Just marked here. Just meh. Push it down. Again, why is there a waist bump here? Don't know, don't care. It's just part of the architecture. Actually, ooh, I have. Maybe we can do different texture shenanigans. Yes, have this lower piece go next. Have this like this lower vent thing. Yes, okay, so yeah, let's use more the twist tie. Let's use more the twist tie while we have it. Snip. Snip, I said. Snip! Okay, the twist tie needs super glue to stay. There we go. Snip tie goes down. So, then, I want a second. Do you want this to flank it? Or do I want another twist tie piece? Double twist tie. Yeah, why not? Let's go not twist tie, zip tie. There, so we got double twist tie side by side. Maybe triple twist tie. Like this is a conveyor belt on the floor. There, hey, there, haha, yeah, okay. We're going, we're tripling the cable tie. And then this is at the edge of the whatever conveyor he's standing next to. Of course, in the 41st millennium, there is no OSHA safety rails at all. Yep, we're just, we're making it up as we go. Yeah, here we go. Let's just now trim excess away. Yep. Yeah. Uh-huh. Nice. And then I think maybe I'll add one little wall floor panel thing to this anyway, just to complete it. But first, let us just finish the curvature of this. Sand down the side a bit. Flush. Yeah. So it's like a cross section of the side of the conveyor belt. And actually, this little recessed part here will finish the effect of being the lower part of the conveyor belt. So, huzzah. It's all coming together. this part down a bit. Very carefully. Underneath here. Just follow this curvature of it. Nice. All the way around. And around the top a bit. Okay. So then, let us see. What this does need is one score down the side here. Just for the paneling purposes. A few times to be sure. Okay. Nice. That's scored in. And then we're going to have one more perpendicular one. So. There, like so. So let's just score it out a bit. Nice. And then a little one more run of cement. Switch around these sides here. Okay. 4 bases. The final base. Number 5. How long is it? Ah, it's been taking quite a while, actually. Whoopsie. Well, that's just how it goes. That's how it goes when you get creative. Anyway, what's this? Why do I have an event? Oh, okay. Let's see. Continuing on. So, let's see. How shall we do this? Clicking something. Alright, continuing on. Let's see. So the last base. So we have sort of edge of destroyed area with leaking gunk and rubble. We have just a regular loading bay with a tracked vent. We have like a maintenance area with some maintenance panels. And then we have like above, like floor level conveyor belt area. What can the 5th base be? No, I'll probably have to do another 5 of these for the rest of the squad later, but that's a future me issue. Hum, hum, hum. We can do edge of a catwalk, side of a catwalk sort of thing. Yes, that could be an idea. I'm just looking at what other materials I have just for something funny, and creative to do. Let's see, I've got the triangles. Will the triangles do anything for me? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Ooh, actually, no, I could do with this. No, that's gonna be too thin for what I want to do. Oh, actually, with the let's look at the offcuts right now. Just grab a bunch of offcuts. Maybe this can be the offcut rubble thing. Just a bunch of debris and stuff nearby the guy. But actually, no, let's first put the base with the dude to be sure I have the correct ones. Go like that. Actually, don't like this. Let's see. Yep. You're putting your friend away with you. Actually, yeah, the rubber one. Yeah. So this rubber one can be the one with the one term later with this claws where he's swinging forward. So it's like he's swung forward through and he's causing the rubble as he's swinging and stuff. So this is going to be more of a basic one. It'll have the scorings for the markings, but then it's going to have just a bunch of little rubble bits all around it. So yeah, let's go with that. Flap, 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 flap. And slam it down. Bam. Yeah. Nope. Ah. Yeah, I'm sticking to it. Ah. No. Eh. Ah. Okay, my finger's all super gluey. Nice. Le perfecto. Okay, let's see. So then I'm gonna have to just rummage a bit with all my little bubbles and stuff here. Yep, just that. Just a bunch of random rubble. Over here, I can just do some of the floorboard scorings. Just gonna reuse the existing scoring already on it. Very good. Let's get a perpendicular one somewhere here. Perpendicular. That it's perpendicular enough. Okay. Then we just carefully score this in. Take it around. There we go. So here. Right. And all the bits that stuck up a bit. Swipe cement around here. And then let's just start sticking bits and bobs here. So yep. Just random bobs and stuff. A bit of a pile. Smaller bits. Again, what could they be? Don't know. There's just atmospheric eye candy. Yep. You get back here. Press. Like so. So then it's the guy who's swinging his claw forward. That. That's a panel there. I think I'll just have this small cut for this down there, and I'll just make it an uneven end point. Just trim into this. It's a little claw mark sort of thing onto it. Like that. Let us expand it a bit inwards. Yeah, we go. Like 3 little claw marks. Then I need to trim this shorter. So, trim that a bit shorter, and then stick it down first. Yeah, come back. Stay. Go. Just slather cement around this some more, just to make sure thing stays. Perfect. Okay. 5 bases prepared. The rest of the job is now going to be down to the painting process for them. Got a lot of plastic dust I'm going to have to clean up later, but first, little bits come to the side. All my spare materials come to the side. Okay, there we go. 5 lovely custom bases. So now let me pop the exposure up a bit now, because we're now going to, with the last bit of time... Oh, other way. I'm just going to very roughly prime these up. And then we can just roughly prime up, roughly paint up, and then see how far we get. So, yeah. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit of a trick I like to do, especially on bases where even paint color scheme, even paint and stuff isn't that required, because it's going to be all dirty and stuff anyway. Let me get a bit of water for my paint palette. There we go. So, paint palette, some water. Now I'm going to get my Vallejo Mecha Color Black Primer for airbrushing and shake it up. Note, I am not turning my airbrush on for this. Shenanigans going to be afoot in a second. We also get a super cheapo and shitty wide brush. Big brush, wide brush. Super cheap, super shitty. Actually, do I have no? No, I've been using this one more. Use the shittier one. Shake, 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 shake. Also put models a bit further back and away. And let's just dunk some black primer down here. And now, for when you are lazy, when you don't care about the even prime layer, because the primer just needs to be on it, doesn't need to be even, and then you can base color it, paint it later, carefully. I'm going to dampen the brush. Dampen. There we go, nice and damp. Just gonna blop, blop, blop into the primer. And we're going to go from the first ones I worked on down to the other one, just so I don't... everything dries fully, and just... there we go, boom. Just slap it on. Just slap and slather it. Like I said, this actually is... because I'd sanded the surface a bit, actually, this paint is actually taking quite nicely. Actually, I forgot I actually did not need to prime these, because I had sanded the surfaces so much that they were already effectively primed through having a rougher surface. Oh, that's fine. It acts as the base color now. Because look, there we go. Based. Do it again. This. Carefully. And, I can just hit the edges while I'm here. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Oop. There we go. Primed. Just put more water. Slather, slather. That's too much water. 1 second. We try to brush off a bit. Slightly damp. Lower the primer. Slather, slather. Hit all the edges. Nice and carefully, all the way around. Good enough. And what's these pings I'm hearing? I have no clue what the heck I just got sent. Continuing on. Dot. And slather, slather. All the way around. Oop, did I not? Oh, whoopsie, I forgot to trim this down. Oh, I'm priming anyway. I'm just going to prime it first. I'll trim it down later. And then with the trim part is, it'll be rough surface anyway, and so I could just paint directly over that. No issue. Let's just get nooks and crannies around the rubble. Okay, there you go. Boom. Prime to the brush in what? 5 minutes? I don't know. Let us clean up my brush. Yep. I have to clean up the water as well, but just clean the brush as I can. Absorb all this dirty water with the tissue. So, and a bit more water. And my best friend, Tamiya brush conditioning fluid. Use it even on the shitty brushes. It really extends their life and makes them more useful. Just loft it around a bit inside. Rinse it off in the water. Slough it around a bit more inside. And then rinse it a bit more in the water. And then that really just helps stop the brush from getting stiff and all caked up as much. There we go. There we go. Nice and soft again. So, yep. Put that aside. Now, these bases. Touch, touch. They're starting to get dry to the feel. So, let's put them in order again. Alright, so now, spaceship hull colors. Let's see. Boarding actions. Terrain paint scheme. Let me see what paints people use for their sort of space Hulk looking stuff. Okay. Paint schemes. I want paint schemes, not how to build them. Apply gradient. No, I don't want that. Wait, sponging. What? So they use Fenrisian Grey and then Rhinox Hide. Alright, pillar toppers. Black, highlight white. Sponge of pure white, painted gold with Balthazar's Golden Ledge Belcher. with Aqua shade. Burnt I don't have any of that shit. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna rummage what do I got? What do I got here? Let's see. What's a good flooring? Metallic-y flooring color. Probably maybe dark steel with heavy wash. Most likely for sure. I'm gonna need some ivory for the weird toxic gunk I'm gonna have. The dark rubber is going well. Yeah, dark rubber for like conveyor belts and stuff. Let's see. No one had stripes on this later as well, so black and yellow. Got for the game yellow. Black, I have black somewhere. Let's get some red. Some green. Neo pink. What else? And maybe some what blue. Oh, no, that's not. No, that's not do metal. And then we just do wash and stuff. Also, let me just get some window glass, just because I can. All right. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go first with the dark steel, and just slather it on everything as the base color for all the actual flooring and stuff. Let me go with a small flat brush for this. Let me find one that might do the job for me. Let's try you. You are a U-Star branded shitty little one. That's fine. Let's do it. Shake, shake. Let's do a little bit first. Grab this. I'm just going to hit spot of dampness. Hit all these floor panels with it first. And then I'll probably use a thinner brush to even out the side edges. Just going to get all the brush strokes in one direction first. Like so. So like that. That. Okay, now I'll use thin brush to get the edges done. Wide brush for the top surfaces, thin brush for the edges. So two. And if I want to do this masking that has stripes up, I'm going to definitely wait for this paint to fully cure before I attempt the masking, else I'm going to just pull the paint up again. So unfortunately, the masking for hazard stripe stuff and then like little decals and ours will be for next stream. Oh, hold on. Before I forget, trim off the edge from here. Yeah. Yeah. Like so. Okay. Yeah. All right. Again, because that's now cut and trimmed and not a smooth surface, the paint is going to stick just fine. Let's just slam this all over. There. Okay. Basic dark steel applied. Clean off the brush. Switch to the thin brush to hit the edges with. Load up. Carefully. Way around. Okay. You. Go. Way around. Nice. You. Whoop. All the way around. Okay. You. Load. It's easy. Right. And then finally you. Just get all these little ridge lines together. Very carefully. Go. Right. Clear up my brush a bit. So, you know, let's just add a bit to this, whatever this little raised, floaty gadget mabob. There we go. Okay. Nice. Clean out the brush. Next color to deal with. Let's see. Maybe let's do the little venties then. Actually, let's do the little conveyor belt part here first. Conveyor belt I'm going to do in this dark rubber, so I'll just get a little bit of out. Spot of dark rubber right there. Tap in the brush, thin it down. Let's apply it here. dark rubber for sure hits this upper edge. Along that area. There we go. There we go. A little bit of a dry brush later to highlight it. We'll be fine. For now, that's that. The little side bit here. I want that to be... Honestly, we want like a bronzy metallic color to it. That's going to be heavily weathered down. Let's try Woundlord Brass along the conveyor edge. Oh, just straight along top. Over it. To the edge. This inner edge here. Like so. Something like that. So that's that main detail blocking dealt with. I think actually, you know what? Kind of like how that goes over the gunmetal. Let's put that over this pipe here. A bit more. Block. There we go. Nice. Yep. Maybe this part, while it's still wet, I can blend in a bit of that little glass as well. Just for color dynamic. Okay. Anything else more Room Lord Brass here? This, I'm actually going to do the center fold, the centerpiece here in the brass. But the pipes on each side will be different colors. But I suppose you got the little lock on the side. Or yeah, Wounded Brass over like this that's been dulled down a bit. Makes good like aged metallic sort of look to this. Which is sort of the grimdark shenanigans you want. Yeah. And then let's see, maybe I'll use it as the drainage color for the vent here as well. So I'm gonna hit this. Yeah, like that. Let's just make this one panel back here slightly more aged as well. The edges. And this. Except for this little plate section. And just sort of brushed over all these raised parts here. There. Okay. That's the main little bits of brass done. Again, the unevenness is going to be filled in when I do just a splash of wash over all of this. And what is this? 1 second. Uno momento. What the heck is this? What the f... No, I don't... Why are you sending me this? Oh, just seeing a bit of a spam message. Okay, anyway, continuing on. Let us see. The toxic goop down here I need to handle, and I want to do this in a way. And that way is going to involve some gray. Yeah, let's just do the Panzer Gray first. A little bit of it. Heavily thinned, actually. I want heavily thinned. Just going to apply it here. Around. So that's some gray. I'm going to dry my brush off. Wipe it away from... Spread it a bit thinner around here. Clean up a bit. Then, I'm going to go with a bit of a bone white. Just a tiny bit of it. Load up. And then from here, I'm just going to dot it. Just sort of unevenly dotted around here. That. Just to give some light spots. Clean up my brush. Get some ivory, which is a much lighter white. Just a small bit again. Collect it. And then also begin dotting it. And like the path where this would leak out, and along the carefully along the edges where it would catch as well. So, clean up again. Give that a moment to dry. advise, where is my pure white at? Very rarely do I need to use pure white, but this is a time for it. Yep, then some pure white. And the extremely thin nature of it, because of course white is fucking horrible to deal with. But again, trusting the process here. Just need to get this pure white around. Sort of blended in here. Swipe it away. Swipe it here. Swipe it away. Okay. Now that's some light gradients and stuff. Hello, Wingbolt. Welcome, welcome. Well, that is got a little bit of white, different amounts of white and gray. What you call it? Gradient happening here. I will continue with the other areas, like while that dries. So this is pretty much done with conveyor belt. So let's use the wash. Wash, wash, wash. This rubber needs color, but also here. These panels and stuff need different colors. Consider a pair of 90-degree prism glasses? No, I haven't, because I wear glasses already, and putting those on top will be probably impossible. Well, thank you for the suggestion, though. I must say, like, magnifying things as well, but then at the same time, I wear glasses already. It's going to get in my face and be annoying. Let's see. I want a nice red. Let's go with a mecha red. I'm going to paint one of these pipes red. A nice, friendly, bright red, because it's going to be probably something important inside. What could it be? Don't know. It's just going to be, it's a red pipe. It's under the floorboards. There we go. Yep. Got one red pipe. And then we're going to have one black pipe. Black. Where's the Abaddon black at? Why am I using Abaddon black? It's the closest black paint to me. And that's it. Yep. There. So two little colored pipes inside. Then the little access panels on top. I think I'm gonna do a darker attack. So just gonna do dark gunmetal. The Vallejo gunmetal. It's a slightly dark metallic. It'll give a contrast to it. Can also just add a little bit of black to it as well, just to help. Carefully. Get the edge. The edge. Okay. This part's going to probably put like a little number decal or like an arrow decal or something, just, or hazard stripes, just to add a little bit of extra detail to the plain areas, but then said, I gotta let the paint fully dry first while I do hazard stripes and masking. So that's probably going to be next stream or just off stream after the thing. So anyway, continuing on now. I think this one is a bit streakier than I'd like, so actually the dark, watercolors here. I can just do that on the rubble pieces. To really darken these up. Yep. And then let's get the dark seal again, just to even out this floor a bit. Spot a bit there. Blah, blah, blah. Just an uneven slather here and there of it. Again, the devil will be in the details. I'll be making the rest of this look more interesting later with paint and decals and stuff, or hazard stripes and stuff. And one more day, I'm working on bases for my assault terminators, which are mostly painted. They still need some details, but I thought, let's get... Again, I want to have them, since they're terminators, I want them on be on like space Halloween bases. So from scratch, I've been cutting plastic card today and bits and bobs and rods and stuff, and I've been making these base shapes for them to stand on, and making all 5 of them a little bit unique. And I'm just getting all the base colors in first, and then later smaller details, hazard striping and stuff work. Like, I've used half rods to make the pipes and so on. I've got zip ties using like these conveyor belts or the vents or like drainage things on these bases and stuff. Just been having fun with little bits and bobs, and like my offcuts are here, and it's a bunch of rubble. Yeah, now that like here, this is like it's a pipe and it's broken and it's like dissolving part of the floor here. And so now that I put the different white paints there and stuff, it's time to put a lovely dissolvey color there. And what would be the best dissolvey color but some Tesseract Green? Should have that here somewhere. There's a very light contrast green that's not for Necrons. I think that would be good for like a radioactive base. There we go. Tesseract Glow. In this case of just making it look physically interesting, and then anything that looks plain here, I'll put like a hazard stripe, paint a small detail, add like a detail mark or decal for like an arrow as they go this way. Just something to like describe it, like this is like a cargo bay, or here's a conveyor belt goes in this direction and whatnot. So we go, some Tesseract Green. Let's just start applying it all around here. Go, just around the edges. Wet the brush a bit. I want it extra thin on this part. There we go, look at that. Look, it's a nice bright greeny color texture here with different textures to it. A bit more of that there. Yeah, there we go. Just leave that alone. Built Lego. I built Lego ages back, but I haven't in recently just because it's expensive. But yeah, that used to be my jam ages as a kid. Now all the new Lego stuff is like, the fancy things I like are fucking expensive, and the cheap things are very cheap and simple. So it's like, yeah, sort of things. Well, Lego was cool. Had a great time with that before. Let's see, where is my brown wash? Should be here somewhere. Although I know I should wash after the detail bits. Yeah, no. So I gotta do like my decals, my small like the hazard stripes, like for let's see, where do I want hazard stripes for these again? I want to do a small hazard stripe section here. This I want to do like an arrow decal or something to point like the conveyor belt goes that way. this maybe some hazard stripes nearby these power systems here. I can do. Where's the black? Thin brush and my black. I can panel line in the panel lines with the vent lines I did. Well, floor paneling lines and stuff. Let's just get a bit in here. Because with a thin enough brush, I can just paint it in directly with the tip of the brush without affecting the rest of this. Let us do it. It's okay if it's not even just yet. Trust the process. Paint it on the inside, and then whoop with a finger. Yeah, wiped away too much, but hold on, let me just be a bit thicker with that. There we go. Now we got that panel nicely done. And then this is going to blend in later when I do the main wash over everything. Like that. There we go. Two of the panels there done. You. Be extra rough with that, just to make sure the paint goes in the panel. There we go. Now that has been dealt with. Let's see. Working on a mock boon, and I got that. Oh yeah, mock. Nice. I've been seeing a lot. Recommend like AliExpress has been recommending a lot of like mock Warhammer things and Star Wars stuff, which all looks really interesting. Just never got around to trying it yet. Or like Star Wars stuff like big spaceships. I have no space for that right now. Oh god, storage space is my main limiting factor at this moment. There we go. Let's just really fill that in, then swipe this away. Same for here. Go. And then you have yourself a panel line here. Bill. Okay. Up. Load. Apply. Smothering it. Smothering it. Smothering harder. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Hope that things went. It had like open and closing lid and everything. That'd be cool. Okay. There we go. So brushes are cleaned up for now. We seal my paints. So yeah, let's see. That's like there we go. Look at that. He's gonna be standing there ominously over the broken pipe with all the gunk it has on it. Pretty cool. And we have he's just stomping forward along the platform like I am here. I'm here to slice and dice and slash. Be right back. Have a good be right back. I'll be probably ending very soon now, just because the time it is, as well as the fact that I've hit a stage of I need to let a lot of things dry before I continue, so I kind of just I gotta be patient and see, so I think, let me just absorb this up. Let me see, what can I do right now? And Hoomster's online. Quite a few peeps. Let's see. Ooh, wow, there's a bunch of very relatable people today. But let's see. Can I continue anything with this? No, wait. Again, that has to definitely drive if I touch anything. Everything pretty much has to drive if I touch anything. Wait, I can. Where's my? Wait a second. Where's my light gray? I have a light gray. Wait a second. I can do one more step. But I need my light gray. What's this? That's black. Where's my neutral? I have a neutral gray. I know I have a neutral gray somewhere. There it is. Neutral gray. Shake, shake, shake. Where's that flat brush at? Here it is. It's ever so slightly damp, so let's put a spot of neutral gray here. Get my plastic. So, dab some neutral gray on. Slowly swirl on the plastic. There we go. I got a dry brush ready. Lightly dry brush this conveyor belt. There we go. Same, I could just dry brush over the rubble here. Okay, I think dry brush is good. Let's see, do I? No, nope. Don't be hasty. Let all the paint dry. Do not attempt hazard painting things yet. All I'm going to do is just end up putting up the paint again. Do I have? I'll have to search my decals later and see. But what can I do? I can... No, everything needs to dry. But I can just start checking these bases. So, again, reconfirm who's who. Say, Mr. Swinging the Claw. So you, who's swinging your claw forward, you're swinging it forward into this rubble. Right? So it's telling a story that, you know, that something's collapsing and rubble is happening there, and he's swinging forward to deal with something. So he's probably he's attacking something here. So you and you to go together. Let's see. Sergeant. Yeah, he's going to be standing here on the weird toxic part here. You know, he's got the tactical rock is part of the thing that's crushed the pipe, and now it's leaking everywhere. So you got into building Gundam sets. Now got into building them a few months back, and now I'm hooked. Yep, welcome to the hobby. I was hooked for ages, so I got into Warhammer. Now I'm mostly just all my Warhammer priorities, just because I need to build this, need to build that for my army. Try this, try out. So you're like, yeah. Let's see, you know, this guy here, where he's like going, he's like, whoop, up. He's leaning forward. He's getting his right hand forward. Maybe, you know, he's about to cross the conveyor belt. He's just putting his arm up here to like punch a box, like a box off the conveyor belt to the side as he steps onto it and stuff. That seems pretty good as a story. Then here we go. The dude where he's just, you know, he's stepping and he's menacingly stepping forward. You know, he's stepping along, he's following along this little, like, pipe access way. Like, no, here's an objective. He's like, okay, just follow the pipes. I'm gonna get there eventually. So he's just walking on past, following it. And then this guy, you know, this is a very open and plain sort of base. So it looks like he's like in a big empty cargo bay. And he's just charging forward at something. He's going to kill something, he's just charging forward, nothing is in his way, so he's just going stomp, stomp, stomp. So yeah, there we go. Got a story, and got a base assigned to a model here. There we go, very nice. So yeah. So I spent 2.5 hours effectively just working on 5 bases. Whoopsie poopsie, but that's just what happens when you get inspired and stuff. So, let us see about a lovely little raid out to somebody lovely tonight. Let's see, whomst is on at this time of night. There's a few people here. Yep. Let's see. Oh, wait. Oh, hello, you. What are you doing? You have... Let me just take a quick look down my entire list. Bunch of different people. You know, I haven't seen them in a little bit. Let's send the fun over to them. Up, up, up. It's night where you are, it's morning here. Yep, I am pretty much 12 hours apart from everyone else, usually. Raid working? Yes, okay, we're gonna go raid into Callie. She does the model kits and stuff as well sometimes. She does other games and stuff. Lovely streamer and VTuber. So yeah, let's go say hello. Let's get a raid message going. Raid message can be the community has come to step on all the metal floor plates and add some emote. I don't know, I just type that. Add any emotes you like to the end of this. And yeah, I'm in Asia. GMT +8. There we go. I'm just going to use this with all my emotes on it. So yeah, again, thank you for coming. Great, appreciate it. I stream every Tuesday, about 10 p.m. Japan Standard Time. And, yeah, you can. My socials are here. My Discord is here. And yeah, with the raid message about to go out, thank you for coming. Great, appreciate it. I'll catch you next Tuesday, if nothing comes up. And away we go! Nyom!